Hello, everyone. Kristen McKillop here with Rachel Lillibridge and Sagar. We want to thank you so much for your time today as we discuss the Valley Medical Center case study. As we look at the client organizational structure and considering how they think about hierarchy, assign tasks to personnel, and how they want to work collaboratively towards common goals, we see that organization as formally structured with approximately 1,500 employees. Recently, they have experienced rapid change in leadership and executive level management. They are experiencing internal instability due to gaps in strategy. There is uncertainty about the future in all levels of personnel, and they are losing market share to looming competition. Valley Medical Center's culture has an air of complacency, lack of focus and accountability, and their employees are not cohesively working towards common goals. Additionally, their physicians are frustrated and threats of leaving the organization are rumored. Based on annual engagement assessments, scores are at about 50%, and recruiting for capacity and retention of current employees in all areas of the company needs to improve by addressing leadership training to manage poor attitudes and change behaviors of themselves and their employees. All that said, considering the organizational life cycle, we have an organization in crisis. Through our collaboration and teamwork, we agreed that the overarching core concerns of Valley Medical Center could best be approached with the strategic planning model. A good starting point will be to briefly discuss strategy and how we will apply a team approach to the consulting process. So let's talk about strategy. We would approach this implementation with appointing an executive champion who would walk the talk and make sure that other senior managers and key stakeholders start involved and stay involved and openly discuss the process and progress with employees. Senior leaders would also be required to participate in the training that other organization members attend, and more importantly, would want them to exhibit their own learning from their training sessions as well. We will conduct thorough organizational planning and competitive analysis. So during our discovery interviews, focus groups, and workshops, we will be conducting our SWOT and PEST analysis to identify internal strengths, weaknesses, and opportunities, and likewise the external analysis to identify political, environmental, sociocultural, and technological factors that might affect organizational ability to compete. We have a clear vision of the objectives of the client, which include improvements in 5 areas. We would get into culture that will require clarification of vision and mission of the organization, leadership training, patient satisfaction, becoming more physician-friendly, maintaining high level of quality care, and remaining financially stable. We would also identify a leadership team that will support the move to a more strategic organization and suggest a system to reward and recognize accomplishments of the new expectations established through the process. We will be mindful of the human element as well that is inherent in any change and understand that people have different needs and different ways of reacting to change and that they need time to adjust. In an effort to create trust, respect, and reinforce hard work and commitment to deadlines, through this process, we will practice the following behavior. First, we will be transparent. Being transparent and creating that environment will help develop a feeling of mutual respect between team members and leaders, allow employees to feel in the loop, respected, and valued, and ultimately produce a happier, more creative, and loyal employee. Next, we will keep communicating for productivity and cooperation, one where leaders can provide honest and constructive feedback and feel safe to do so. We will encourage collaboration and promote teams in getting along. We will trust our teams to do their job and delegate tasks that we know that they are competent to perform, and we will not micromanage them. We will prevent team burnout as employers and leaders and set positive boundaries for work, play, and relaxation. We will embrace disagreements and solve them effectively and come to new objectives and learnings from it. We will keep the communication open and promote reliability and flexibility. We will create a culture of no blame and allow failure. And as a team, we will confront difficult issues together.
Valley Medical Center espouses the vision to be the market leader in clinical quality, patient satisfaction, and operational excellence. The vision supports the hospital's mission to provide excellent patient care. After a rapid series of leadership changes within 24 months, the leadership at Valley Medical Center implemented 5 priorities or values to support the hospital's vision in creating and maintaining excellence. These priorities include strong employee engagement, high patient satisfaction, quality patient care, being physician friendly, and achieving financial strength. Since a primary purpose of a mission statement is to inspire, engage, and motivate employees to achieve an organization's goals, it is important for us as consultants to understand how the staff at Valley Medical Center embrace their vision, mission, and value statements, and how this contributes to the culture of the organization. To understand if the culture of Valley Medical Center supports the vision and mission of their organization, it is necessary to look at the assumptions, values, and norms of the employees through a cultural audit. Through conversations with the CEO and organization leaders, our consulting group learned that an important cultural value is loyalty. This is demonstrated in many of the hospital's employees who have been with the organization for over 20 years. Further, we are told that employees value the feeling of belonging to a family. They value the camaraderie, compassion, and caring that exemplifies the family-like environment of the hospital. Because cultural norms guide the behaviors and beliefs of an organization's members, we felt it was necessary to understand the norms that represent the culture of Valley Medical Center. When our consulting group spoke with the Director of Surgical Services, she indicated that Valley Medical Center adopted 6 ground rules that mold the organization's behaviors to support the culture. These ground rules include no excuses. We are a team, sink or swim. We do it together. Bring up your good ideas. Poor performance will be addressed. The phrase, "that's not my job," is not acceptable. One cultural assumption that employees hold is that the future is uncertain and that they must look out for themselves, even if this means leaving the organization. Cohesive teamwork and working interdependently with other groups is not valued. As consultants, we recognize that the organization may be operating under Bion's assumption of meanness. Another assumption at play is that a competitive environment leads to success and security. Employees may feel vulnerable by the rapid turnover of leadership and the decline of market share the hospital is facing. A competitive environment would give individuals a chance to validate their skills. Through our conversations with leadership, we learned that some of the cultural assumptions that employees possess do not align with the ground rules intended to foster a positive culture. For example, the ground rule of "we do it together" and "we are a team, sink or swim" are not upheld. Additionally, Valley Medical Center has undergone rapid changes in leadership within the past 2 years. This has created cultural gaps such as complacency. Individuals lack focus and accountability. They are not engaged with the priorities that are essential to the success of the vision and mission of the organization. Although some aspects of the culture do not align with the norms the hospital has created to support it, we assure the CEO and leadership that we can help with this. Through team building exercises, we can help create a cohesive and non-competitive environment. Additionally, increasing patient volumes and market share will allow employees to feel more certain about their future. It is the desire of our consulting team to work collaboratively with Valley Medical Center. The primary goal of our consulting relationship is to transfer our expertise to Valley Medical Center, and giving leadership the knowledge to problem-solve issues for themselves in the future. Further, the more our relationship is collaborative, the greater the chance for sustained change once our consulting team is left. With leadership, we have discussed using the appreciative inquiry model as a collaborative, strengths-based approach to help the hospital achieve the changes they envision. We explain that appreciative inquiry looks through the lens of what is working well, analyzes why it is working well, and then works to build upon those elements within a group. It is applicable across a broad range of contexts and can help Valley Medical Center achieve change that is meaningful and long-lasting. The appreciative inquiry process begins by asking a series of positive questions focused on bringing out the best in each person in the organization. These questions will allow employees to identify strengths within themselves and appreciate the strengths of their teammates. Some of the questions we may ask include, what has been a high point of your experience working at Valley Medical Center that has made you feel successful? What do you value most about yourself and your organization? What would be your greatest aspirations for Valley Medical Center within the next 5 years? Close your eyes and picture Valley Medical Center's ideal future as a collaborative, engaging workplace. We are now in the top 10% of the country with employee engagement scores. How are we interacting with one another and with other departments? How are we engaging with physicians and patients? Imagine an ideal workday at Valley Medical Center in a year's time. What is happening? Who is doing what? What does your workday look like? What can you say is different? What is new? What is exciting? Appreciative inquiry consists of 4 specific steps designed to bring about organizational change, and the first step is the discover stage. This stage asks what gives life to Valley Medical Center. This is where we gather and we appreciate the very best of what is. Individuals share stories and information that is gathered about what is working well. As we continue with our conversations with the CEO and leadership, we have determined that loyalty, compassion, and camaraderie are traits that are admired by the staff, and this might make an excellent focus of inquiry. Additionally, the good relationship between employees and physicians would be an affirmative topic to build upon as well. The second step in the process is the dream stage. Here, the staff would work to envision the possibilities of what might be. These may be areas such as collaboration, cross-departmental teamwork, sharing good ideas, encouraging and building up each team within the hospital. The third stage is the design stage, where we determine what should be. This is where we will co-construct our newly acquired vision for Valley Medical Center. How can we move from our present point to get to our future desired point? The final stage in the process is the deliver stage. Here, we collectively decide on time to reflect, to evaluate, and to celebrate our victories. What has changed? Have we implemented cohesiveness across all departments? Are we living out the ground rules? Are we collaborating with each other? Are we engaging with leadership and partnering with physicians in patient care at a deeper level? Next, Sagar will discuss working through resistance.
Thank you, Rachel. Before we begin our actual intervention, it is imperative that we recognize that we will have to deal with client resistance throughout the time that we are working together. Although the word resistance paints a picture of direct opposition, there are many more ways that clients may show resistance other than simply attacking back. Common forms of resistance that we will be watching for are avoiding the question and deflecting to another topic, giving very short, non-descriptive answers, or being very confused and repeating questions or answers 3 or more times. Along with this, too much silence is seen as resistance, since the ultimate goal is to work together, not just in one direction. Although it may seem like the complete opposite of resistance, a client being overly compliant is showing just as much resistance as being completely silent. Both situations contain a relationship that is completely dominated by the consultant. Regardless of the form of resistance, it is important that we address it as soon as it happens. Delaying addressing resistance will only cause bigger problems later down the line. A nice acronym to guide a way to deal with resistance is AIR, A-I-R. First, acknowledge. We must acknowledge what the client is saying in a genuine and validating way. Next, investigating. We must identify the main form of resistance, encourage the client to discuss it further, and then isolate the true underlying cause of it. Finally, reinforce. We need to reinforce the positive aspects of our proposition, reinforce our reasoning for the proposed changes, and then look for acceptance from the client before moving forward. Finally, our proposal. We have used that initial meeting and the information gained during the hospital tour to create a preliminary contract that we can amend together before getting fully started. As we decide which angle to tackle the problem from, we wanted to really focus in on your priorities as a hospital. We understand that you feel that there's a problem with patient satisfaction, employee engagement, and physician attrition or happiness, which is ultimately leading to concerns regarding healthcare quality and overall financial worries. Our main objectives during this consultation are to measure and understand the cause of patient satisfaction being near the 30th percentile in the nation, measure and understand the cause of the lack of employee engagement and employee alignment with the hospital's vision, training the managerial staff of the hospital to be better leaders rather than just good employees, and to create an environment that reduces the risk of physician attrition, particularly as the new hospital opens up locally in 9 months. From you all, we need all of the patient satisfaction surveys that were collected over the past year in order to understand the cause of the 30th percentile ranking. Next, we will be conducting 10 focus groups that will contain 10 employees each that include employees across the entire hospital staff. This is to have in-depth conversations regarding why employees aren't buying into the hospital's culture and ground rules. Finally, we will need 30 interviews with physicians and senior management to either discredit rumors of attrition or understand the rumors and make changes, particularly in these next 9 months. The deliverables that we will be giving to you throughout these next 8 weeks are a written report containing quantified and qualified patient satisfaction scores, a written report containing employee engagement data that we will aggregate from the focus groups, an oral presentation containing the summary of the 30 physician and senior management interviews, using the aforementioned PEST analysis to ensure that we address all potential aspects of the leadership. Then, specific recommendations will be developed jointly with you after the outline of the issues has been discussed. Finally, we will be conducting a one-day intensive leadership workshop for employees with a focus on teamwork, accountability, and feedback. Throughout this entire process, we will be needing your help and your hand in getting this done. Specifically, you're responsible for disseminating the need for the project among your organization. We also need to have open communication lines between us, the administration, and all of the department heads. Finally, we will need your assistance in scheduling and the collection of all the required information, whether it's the surveys, the focus groups, or the individual interviews. This is our projected timeline of consultation. We expect to start the project in 1 week, and we plan to complete it 8 weeks from the time that we start. The first week will consist of developing and obtaining results from the patient satisfaction surveys. The next 2 weeks will consist of employee and focus groups and data assimilation. The fourth and fifth week will consist of the physician and senior leadership interviews. The sixth week will be used for the final assimilation and final analysis of all of the data that we collected. The seventh week will consist of our presentation of data and the leadership workshop. The eighth week will consist of the joint creation of the future plans of action and long-term visions. We look forward to working with you all and feel confident in the expertise and experience that we can bring to helping you achieving your goals and bringing this wonderful hospital back on the track to success. We will be following up 6 months after the end of our consultation to check in on progress in all of the fields we are hoping to strengthen. We hope that this project is a success and will lead to a further working relationship between our group and your hospital. Thank you all, and we will be taking any questions regarding our initial proposal before we dive into our preliminary contract.